This is Cindy from the Forensics Accounting Group, investigating the fraud in Triangle Ball Club. Together with me today is Samantha, Robert, Brett, and Chloe. So according to our investigation, the main perpetrator of the three frauds we found out is Benjamin Hill, who is the office manager, and he committed the payroll fraud, equipment fraud, and ticket sales fraud. So Ben's pressure to commit fraud comes from his extreme financial debt from alimony and bankruptcy. He rationalizes his fraud through entitlement to compensation for basically running the firm, and his opportunity to commit the fraud varies from situations.
For the payroll fraud, the payroll sheets ADP receives contain 3 employees that do not appear in the timesheets prepared by Candy, making $6 an hour for $10 each. This results in extra $180 being paid out after every home series that doesn't get paid to employees. The total value over the 4 months audited is $1,080. The chart on the left is calculated from the timesheets prepared by Candy and the payroll invoices from ADP, showing the discrepancy, and the chart on the right is a timesheet as received by ADP from Ben, showing the 3 ghost employees. Ben verifies the timesheets and sends them to ADP and checks over the listing that ADP returns before he gives them to Michelle. He manipulates a timesheet, adding the 3 fake employees before sending it to ADP. His 4-year accounting degree and relevant work experience give him sufficient knowledge to commit this fraud. The regular pattern of the non-existent employees added to the payroll cannot be done accidentally, and they receive Ben's signature to prove that he verifies the time cards. He is the last examiner of Candy's timesheets before the version of the timesheets is submitted to ADP.
The second fraud comes in a discrepancy in the price and quantity of equipment purchased. When comparing financial statements of the 2 companies, it is clear that Ben bought less equipment but at a higher price to keep the total expense the same. These 2 data sets are the snippets of Ben's request for equipment and the invoice provided by Sports Equipment Inc. It is clear that the prices and quantities on the 2 data sets do not match, which is where the problem occurs. The total cost to the company is $4,190, which goes to Charlie's business, Sports Equipment Inc. Ben was able to change vendors and change the reports without any oversight, even though he knew it would hurt the company overall. Proof of intent is that Ben chose to buy goods at a higher price from his friend's business. The quantity and prices are changed in order to help Sports Equipment Inc., but it comes at the expense of TBC.
For the ticket sales fraud, Ben adjusted the ticket ledger to reflect a lower volume of sales and removed the excess cash from the cash box. Myrna, who works at the ticket booth, keeps a notebook ledger of all ticket sales. This ledger is inconsistent with the official log submitted by Ben to Michelle. The data on the left column is from the official ledger Ben submitted, and the middle column is from Myrna's notebook, and there's a huge discrepancy between the 2, which shows a $4,000 difference. Ben had the opportunity and knowledge to do it because he keeps both the ticket log and the cash in his office overnight and gives to Michelle the next day. He's the only person who has access to both the ticket log and the cash at the same time, after Myrna sees it and before Michelle enters the amounts into the system.
The total cost to TBC for this 4-month period was a little over $9,000. The main perpetrator was definitely Benjamin Hill, and he had an external conspirator of Charlie Thurgood for the equipment fraud. Staff potentially involved would be Michelle Shelton, though this may be through ignorance or active involvement. Thank you for listening to our presentation. This is our team members and the roles they played throughout the investigation.